Well, before we go on with the chat, let's have a wee look at this pre-season, not so friendly, from 7 years ago. 1996, Jeff. What can you recall of this game in aid of a Willie Madden testimonial?
I remember Ince was playing for Inter Milan, and we'd had a couple of tasty tackles early on, but then this fiery little Scotsman came on and got involved with a young Italian called Gianluca Festa. And I think I got you subbed and you'd only been on the field about 90 seconds.
I tell you what, look at Emerson, he was right there. I mean, I've done nothing wrong there. The guy's tried to take me out initially, then I've just tried to go for the ball. Look at his elbow. If he catches me with that elbow, it would have broke my jaw. You let him get away with it.
You've done nothing wrong, but it was supposed to be a football match, not a rugby match.
But how you found me as a guilty culprit there, I will never know to this day. I still have nightmares.
Friendlies are the worst things on earth for referees to have to control. It's even worse when it's your hometown team. And I'm trying my best to make sure you're not suspended for the first month of the season. That's it. I was saying get away. It's a good job the fans can't lip read, isn't it?
Look at your face here, Jeff. You look like Stan Laurel there, I'll tell you. I tell you what, you're a lot fitter nowadays than those days, aren't you?
Yeah, well, the players are a lot fitter now than they used to be in them days.
When you did move on, one thing you did do, I remember reading in the papers, you questioned the commitment and the passion of some of the players, particularly on their travels, just when you left. Do you still stand by that?
Sometimes I do, yeah, I do, John, because, you know, I feel as though I have to work hard for what I've got, John. And sometimes you look at players, you know, and you think, well, you know, he's not trying a leg, but he's getting 40 grand a week, Dave, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you think, well, and it annoys me, it really annoys me, because everybody starts there, yeah, but some people just get lucky, you know, and I think, well, you know, if I'm giving 110%, and he's on 40 grand a week and they're on 20 grand a week, why can't you? If I can do it, why can't you do it?
Probably what gives you a big insight as well is that you know what's taking place Monday to Friday.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think if you're a player and you've got people out on the pitch who on the training ground who aren't putting the effort in and they still pull a shirt on the Saturday, and that pees you.
When you were there, did anyone ever dig the ones out if they weren't performing, say if they've not produced the goods?
Ince was a great character for me, because he'd come in and he'd say what it felt like at half time. Yeah. You know, and there's numerous occasions, you know, where I can remember sitting at Bradford City, we were getting beat 1-0 before Christian Campbell scored this wonder goal, and we needed to win. And I think it's the first time that I've ever crossed, like, you know, Ince being in a bad mood. I was sat like a little sheep in the corner, John, and I was like, he got up and he hammered 4 or 5 of us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Do you know, because of what's, you know, the situation which Middlesbrough were in at that time, and I can remember Ince coming out saying, look, we're playing for our lives here, John. Yeah. And that's a lad, Paul Ince, who's done it. 10 million in the bank or whatever he's got, and he still wanted to. He still wanted it.
You get any funny stories in the dressing room when you were an apprentice, Proc? Bullied or anything? I mean, now, in those days you get bullied to bits. I remember once. I mean, I used to be the physio's assistant at Coventry. No, that was my job as an apprentice. And after training every day, I had to come in, get the ice out these little plastic cups, and for half an hour just sit and ice the players. I mean, that's all I had to do, ice the players. And I remember, gospel truth. And then, let's say, they'd get me in the middle of the treatment room, stand in a stool, strip off and sing "Oh Susanna" and entertain them. Now imagine trying to do that nowadays, Pro. I mean,
them things went on, didn't I? I mean, one I do recall now, you've just mentioned it, I was given a medicine ball and someone said to me, go and get that signed for me. So I'm walking around all these festive players, can you sign this medicine ball for me? And I didn't know what was going on, you know what I mean? It took me the next day to realise what was going on, you know. But
it's a good job I missed out on the apprenticeship stages then. I'd have been crucified.
Do you know, you grew up in a building site before you started playing. Any good stories for that?
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah. There's a few.
Remember, has it? You fell out of somewhere.
I fell out of a portal, yeah, a few years ago, about 13 years ago it was. And I got my mate a job on the building site, and we used to have this portal toilet. So what you used to, when you go for a number 2 or have a wee or something like that, your mates used to put a nail in the door so you couldn't get out. They used to lob bricks at the door and blah blah blah. And get a forklift and lift it up a little bit, and do you know what I mean? So I'm sat in there one day having number 2 light, and my mate just come on the building site working there for 3 weeks. So I hears the nail go in the door, like, and I'm sat there with my shoulders down thinking, oh my God, they've got me here, like, you know what I mean? So they heard the engine go on the forklift, and it goes up, and I thought that it was only 6 inches off the floor, like, you know what I mean? Well, Craig, thinking, like, because it was thick, he took it 15 foot, didn't he? And there was an air vent, you know, where lets the nice fresh air come out. And they're all shouting on the forklift, "Don't move!" And I'm thinking, I wonder how high I am. So this air vent was a bit bust, like. So I give it one of them and stood up and looked over the side, and as it looked over the side, it just gave it one of them. And it hit 15 foot up there, I'm not telling you, I knocked my front teeth out. Black eye, John. I was playing for North Ferriby on the Tuesday night, right? Yeah, I know. And there's, you imagine what's all over me, do you know what I mean? And
you must have it back before then, though.
Yeah, so I went home, and I fell asleep in the van all afternoon. The boss said, "You better," do you know what I mean? Concussion, I got a big fat head. So we're playing in the game, and my mate who played up front with the Craig Norrie, he says, referee kept coming up to me every 2 minutes going, "You're all right, you're all right." And I was going, yeah. 2 big black eyes I had, John. Unbelievable. And it's the worst experience I've ever had in a toilet.